Well, let's try and fit in a game of blitz chess. So 21-29, good luck. Okay, we're playing a Reti. Actually, let's go the more fashionable e3 now. Just check our connections. Knight f6, let's still play c4. Okay. I'm going to actually take then, remove that center pawn. But how do I want to develop? Bishop e2 looks okay. Bishop c4 looks okay. Yeah, knight up looks fine. I mean, I can't protect the pawn. I mean, maybe I could try now if he doesn't take. I think he will, he does. Let's just get our bishop out then. If he takes, I'll take back. There is obviously the annoying bishop down potential. But I think I'm fine to castle first before h3. Let's change the center. I could go with the e-pawn, I guess, just to mix it up. Do we want to do that? No. Let's drop back again. Now bishop down is a little bit of a nuisance, but I've got h3 and you can't really drop back. So let's get our bishop up again. Queen down's a bit annoying, but I don't think I'm blundering. I might be. Okay, just hits the bishop. I'm going to play rook across. Again, I'm also debating if he takes a pawn, whether to take with the e-pawn. Just keep this nice structure, but that might give me a chance to push forward. No, actually that move, does it? I think it does. I've got to be careful because my bishop's not guarded. Yeah, let's do this one first, because again, bishop a6 is also annoying. I need to move like queen up before I push. I'm going to play queen up, rook across, these type of ideas. So up. I think I can do it. If he takes, I'm still okay to take. It mixes my pawn structure up a bit, but I think it's okay. I might be wrong, of course. We'll hopefully get rid of that defending dark squared bishop and get rid of the bishop pair. That's what he goes for, so let's take. He could play e5, I guess. Then we need to start coming up with a plan. f3 might actually be a move in some lines, try and keep the e4 pawn. So do we want to risk a move like f3? Obviously not now, but we can shift the knight then, maybe f3. So knight back, knight around the angles. We've got knight forward to hit the queen. I don't really like the idea of putting the knight on that side of the board. I don't know why, it just feels wrong. I'm going to develop the rook first, I think. Is that a problem though? You can imagine, say, the rook's double up. Might be a problem. Yeah, I'm just going to drop the knight back. I think I want to keep the knight on this side of the board. I'm looking at this and this sort of idea eventually. Maybe this, maybe we'll march forward. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's doubling up. So we can either challenge it now or we won't get a chance to. Doubles up, I take. If he takes, the pawn is loose. So this is where I need that f3 move. Or do we just go crazy and go f4? Let's go crazy and go f4, why not? We can still drop the knight across. We can just try and march on. Now he is looking at rook down, so a slight problem. So I guess I've got rook up. I've got queen back maybe. I'm going to just get the knight out of the way there and just hope I'm not blundering. I can't really stop rook down. I probably should have played rook across. But I want to try and break through if I can. So let's just drop back and aim to push on. Obviously, if he gets two rooks on this file, then that's a bit of a technical problem. Rook across right now is covered. So maybe I might even have to play a move like rook f2 and concede a pawn. Let's just see. But I'm just looking at basic simple concepts. Just push the pawn forward. Okay, he's gone for the check, so I can't block there, I would just lose on the spot, so I have to move the king, so I don't need to think about that, but yeah, he's headed that off. That's a problem now, isn't it? I probably have gone wrong, so I'll have to challenge this and concede ground, I think, here. So rook across. I think I just have to concede But I'm blundering a pawn at best here, I think. If he goes with the pawn, at least they're doubled up and I can still push. If he goes with the bishop, I'll just take. Is he going to try and play the queen in and then double up? He might do. Let's just see. Yeah, the queen has indeed come in. That's what I expected. So I can't just ignore it. So I'll have to take. Problem is I can't go here because of the mate threat. Maybe we've just got queen across then. Is that actually playable? It looks bad, doesn't it? But I don't see anything even remotely playable otherwise. But if we get a chance to trade now without blundering mate in one, then we've got the queen getting active if he doesn't trade. But of course, if the queen stays on this file, then I can't move the pawn without it being a mate in one threat. And equally, I can't run my rook forward now because I'll blunder the back rank. But now we are threatening to capture back. But of course, he can simply play rook in and clean up and trade everything off and get an extra pawn if he wants. I'm kind of committed now. Rook down, trade, trade, rook takes, rook takes. He does try and guard. Might as well get the king up to support the knight then. Okay, I'm going to try and push forward and break up this pawn structure. Yeah, let's just push immediately. I could play a move like rook up, but I think he simply comes forward. I'm actually looking at rook across and pushing as well. Is that an idea? I'm going to play rook across and look to push the pawn. I mean, again, I can't really stop this, can I? My king's a bit far away. He comes down now. So let's just push the pawn on. I was actually wondering whether I could push on here, but I don't think it works, does it? That's obviously the problem now. If we trade, I still can't really stop this, so probably lost, but let's just see. I've got to try and be up that little bit on the clock to keep my opponent on time pressure. It's my only realistic chance here. So he's gone back. So does that blunder a pawn there? Has he blundered a pawn? Can I take with check? He can't come here. He could go there and I can drop the knight back, or I can just take something takes and hit the bishop, right? I think that's a pawn. He can obviously step forward, but I can jump in after a trade, hit the bishop, and then try and support or take. Now, there isn't a trick, is there, for knight to hit the rook? Actually, there is knight to hit the bishop now, isn't it? Knight check and I hit the bishop. And he can't take, so it's a nice tactic. So we take. Okay, well now it must be good to trade, right? And I get the outside pawn. Ah, I can guard my pawn here first. Wow, we somehow won it. Very, very good. What was the eval? Plus 4.6 in the end. We got a bit lucky, but let's just see what the engine says. Right, I've switched the cameras around now just so I can import the game into lichess so we can get the usual evaluation and see how we've actually played it. So let's import the game. Just request an analysis there, import. You can just request it as soon as you've imported it. You don't have to pick the option there. Just the same thing either way. So let's see how good and bad we played it. We were definitely worse, weren't we? We were definitely worse, and we've just stumbled into a nice little tactic. It doesn't normally take too long to do this, obviously, but a lot of people could be using it at the same time. Yeah, so we're definitely a lot worse here. So how bad is it? -3. And we're not the least bit surprised about that. We've definitely messed up here. So one of them games where you just get lucky. You know, you can just about resignable. You play on, and then you get a bit of luck. It's very much up and down. So we probably blundered a good few times. Well, let's just see. Just 2 each actually. So we played 87% versus 81%, CPL 33 versus 48. But we've blundered it from basically level in this position. What did we do? Knight back wasn't a blunder in itself. I should have played the f3 I was on about instead of going silly with f4. f3 is a perfectly good move. It was the best move in the position, and that's what I was going to play, just to keep this knight structure, and then I've ended up getting a terrible structure. So that one move, that was the blunder. And you can see we're -3 all the way here. It's going to go down a little bit and then back up. So where's our other blunder? The other blunder is Queen E1. And I should have gone to A1 instead to try and get scope to get forward here and just maybe rook across, I guess, to try and not get checkmated. So I didn't see Queen to A1. So that was my other blunder. Still -3, 6, but it was not good to trade. I should have ran the king over instead of pushing the pawn here, so I'm a little bit more towards the center. And then a few moves in, we just get this blunder. Rook back is a blunder. It's now level, so it was correct to take the pawn. The king forward is a blunder, and it's correct to check because the rook can't take back due to the pin. So we get the bishop, and then in this position we can trade the rook, and then we can take a little bit of time. If you take back here, obviously we can support our pawn. There's no rush to gather this one and give this pawn away. And then we'll just have to sack the knight for this one. I'll run our pawn before the pawn get back. But it's 5.8 on this engine evaluation. So that's then winning. So very good.